Top Gun was a huge hit in the 80s, and when the sequel took off in 2022, it pretty much locked in Top Gun 3. But the next one is going to be different in a big way. There's one thing Top Gun 3 won't be able to bring back from Maverick.
Setting time to target, 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
2:15, that's impossible.
File attack point.
Here's everything we know about Top Gun 3 and more. Let's kick things off with the one thing Top Gun 3 won't be able to bring back from Maverick. The next sequel is going to be different in a big way. When the original Top Gun dropped in 1986, Tom Cruise was on the rise, fresh off the success of Risky Business, and he proved he could be an action star by taking on the role of Maverick, the fearless Air Force pilot. For years, the story seemed closed after that first movie, but Hollywood decided to bring Maverick back in 2022, introducing a new generation of pilots in Top Gun Maverick. This sequel brought a wave of nostalgia and excitement as Cruise demonstrated that he still had what it takes to be an action hero. The result? A box office smash that nearly hit $1.5 billion. With such a massive success, studios jumped at the chance to continue the franchise with a third film. However, one key difference between Top Gun Maverick and Top Gun 3 will be the timeline. The long gap between the first and second films allowed for some great storytelling opportunities, like introducing Goose's son, which added emotional weight to the sequel. Plus, the original cast returned as seasoned veterans, bringing their own history to the story.
Who the hell is that?
Maverick to range control. Entering point Alpha. Confirm green ring.
Now, you might be wondering why it doesn't make sense to wait decades for Top Gun 3. It'd be unrealistic to wait another 4 decades, and thankfully that's not how Hollywood usually rolls. The sequel should keep building on what came before while moving forward with new adventures. It's crucial to keep Cruise as Maverick, but it's equally important for younger characters like Rooster to step up. After all, Maverick can't carry the franchise forever, and with themes of legacy in play, the new generation needs their moment. Waiting too long would mean Maverick becomes too old to play a significant role, leaving only younger characters who were mostly in the background before. The film industry has only seen $55 billion movies in its history, and just 2 of them were released before 2000. Studios want to make sure these franchises thrive, which is why Top Gun Maverick's success guaranteed a sequel. Top Gun 3 was confirmed early in 2024, so now the studios just have to figure out the story, cast, and crew to make sure the next installment builds on the legacy instead of tearing it down. If they can deliver a quality follow-up that lives up to the original films, Top Gun 3 could have a real shot at success, even if it might not reach the staggering $1.5 billion mark that Maverick did.
Pumping in 3, 2, 1. Bombs away.
With the third Top Gun movie still in limbo, Glenn Powell recently dropped some hints about it during an appearance on the Happy Sad Confused podcast. He teased, "I have a date," which could mean he's got a production start date lined up, though he didn't spill any more details, quickly shutting down questions with an "absolutely not." Meanwhile, Tom Cruise is busy with Mission Impossible 8, and it's unclear if he has any other projects lined up before he can jump back into the cockpit for Top Gun 3. While most of the cast details are still under wraps, initial news suggests a lot of familiar faces will return. When the sequel was announced in January 2024, it was confirmed that Cruise would reprise his role as Pete Maverick Mitchell, putting to rest any rumors about his absence. Miles Teller will also be back as Lieutenant Bradley Rooster Bradshaw, along with Glenn Powell as Lieutenant Jake Hangman Sarrazin. Although Top Gun Maverick didn't set up a direct storyline for a third film, it still left the door open for a sequel. The plot will likely revolve around a new mission that brings Maverick and his fellow pilots back into action, focusing more on their character development than the specifics of the mission itself. However, there was a hint of conflict with Admiral Kane's plan to replace human pilots with drones. This could set the stage for a showdown where Maverick and his team have to prove that human skill is still superior to machines. A battle against drones could also provide a great opportunity for a reunion of the original fighter pilot crew, especially since many didn't return for Top Gun Maverick. This would make for a nostalgic and satisfying tribute to the first film, highlighting the theme of humans versus machines. While it seems pretty likely that the drone storyline will be a key part of Top Gun 3, it'll be exciting to see how it all comes together. Meanwhile, Tom Cruise is busy with Mission Impossible 8, and it's unclear if he has any other projects lined up before he can jump back into the cockpit for Top Gun 3. While most of the cast details are still unknown, initial news suggests a lot of familiar faces will return. Since we all love Top Gun Maverick, it's clear that Tom Cruise's character Maverick should step into a mentor role for his true successor in Top Gun 3. It would be awesome to see the cast from Maverick come back together again. They had great chemistry, and even though Cruise was the star, some of the new pilots really made an impression, despite their limited screen time. Keeping the core cast, especially the new generation of Top Gun pilots, is essential for the next movie. Speaking of mentorship, I think it's high time for Maverick to focus on grooming his true successor, something that was a bit lacking in Maverick. Tom Cruise and Glenn Powell's friendship is a perfect example of this bond. After Top Gun Maverick, Cruise has been a real wingman to Powell. At the Twisters premiere in July 2024, they were all smiles, with Cruise putting his arm around Powell as they held Twisters-branded popcorn buckets. Their Instagram moment radiated friendship, with the caption, "When your wingman follows you into the storm." A few days later, Powell talked about their friendship in an interview with E! News, sharing how special it's been to have Cruise as a mentor and friend. Their connection blossomed while filming Top Gun Maverick, and it's inspiring to see how close they've become off-screen. This real-life bond also sets Powell's character, Hangman, up perfectly to be Maverick's successor in the franchise.
Holy shit! We've got impact!
In my opinion, Top Gun Maverick shows that Hangman is actually the best fit to carry the torch, rather than Rooster. Despite being somewhat of an anti-hero who butts heads with Rooster and other Top Gun graduates, Hangman proves to be a hero when he swoops in to save Maverick and Goose from an enemy fighter jet. His daring move to defy orders and rush to their aid during a critical moment showcased his bravery and solidified him as Maverick's natural successor. And that's that for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Click the thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and we will see you in our next video.